Hey guys. So I'm gonna give everyone a little chance to pop on here. I have not done a Facebook Live for months and months and months. So anyway, I'm gonna give everyone a little bit of a chance to pop on. But I just had some thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. And hey Diana. Um, and I wanted to make sure I got them out because I'm literally wired right now. And I did my hair and my makeup like for a 20-minute webinar, so we can't waste it, right? I cannot sleep though. I'm so excited about so many things. And I wrote some thoughts in a journal right here, like at the beginning of the month. And I've been wanting to share them. I told my girlfriend Hannah, like, I have got a Facebook Live that is brewing in me. And it really came to a point when I was hiking and I wrote it all down. And of course, I just have not had time. So I'm awake, I'm wired, and I thought I would just pop on and share my thoughts with you guys on leadership and kind of the lessons that I've been learning through my hiking adventures with my family and stuff. So anyway, I'm so excited that you guys are popping on and stuff. It's kind of late, so I had no idea who would jump on here. So I have all of these notes written down in my journal. I don't have this memorized or anything like that. It's not going to be all polished or anything, but I so badly want to get this message out. And if it can help somebody, whoever it reaches, then that's all that matters, right? So it's not going to be anything that's perfect or memorized or anything like that. But so September 1st, my family, we set out to hike the highest mountain peak in the Bitterroot Mountains, Trapper Peak. It was about just shy of a 4,000 foot elevation gain, and just shy of almost 9 miles, like 8.75 miles. It was a big deal for us. It may not be a big deal for other like seasoned peakers, but it was a really big deal for us. So that was on September 1st. That's how we launched our September. September is a really big month for us for so many reasons. And so we really wanted to get into it intentionally. So that's how we started September, was climbing this mountain. And I had so many thoughts during this hike that I was writing down, like typing it in my phone as we were hiking, because it was just, I had such clarity on that hike. So one of the things that really came to me was leadership. So being a leader is really getting people to do something that they wouldn't do if you weren't there. And my biggest leadership role is to my children. So the kids did not have an option to hike. They didn't have a choice. So they were gonna do it regardless. And there was definitely some grumbling, there was definitely some complaining, there was some seriously bad attitudes, but none of that was gonna change whether we made it to the top or not. Like it wasn't gonna change anything. So yeah, they didn't have a choice. Now they could have changed their attitude and spoken words of encouragement to each other. It would have made the trip so much easier. So they do have an option with their attitude, but their complaining was not going to change whether we're going to go to the top or not. So last year we stepped up our hiking game. We started out really small. We started getting consistent with our miles, and we wouldn't have started out with hiking Trapper Peak. We had to start out small. Like we had to build up our lungs, we had to build up our muscles, we had to get into the habit of it, like, how to pack our backpacks and, get into the routine of it. There's no way we could have set out to do this peak last year. So we started out small, and that's what you've got to do when you're summiting any kind of mountain, is starting out small. So the other leadership role that I have is that to a team of entrepreneurs. And some of them have never owned their own business before. Some of them have owned their own business for decades. Some of them have a full-time job and they're just doing their business on the side. Some of them have tons of kids, like me. Some of them are bachelors. But they all have the same opportunity to make excuses or success. Right? They all have the same exact opportunity, regardless of what their situation is. But unlike my boys, I can't force my team to do anything. Sometimes I wish I could, But that'd be terrible leadership, right? So in the end, they have to decide if they're going to listen to their excuses and focus on their obstacles, or if they're going to focus on all the reasons they can do it, right? So you can either listen to your excuses and look at your obstacles and get defeated, or you have the choice to look at all of the reasons why you could do something, right? And focus on putting one foot in front of the other. So when we're climbing to the top of the mountain, I literally, you guys, it was like, and I'm not whining, but it was literally like a 4-mile stair stepper. It was so hard. I wanted to stop, like, but I remember thinking, I just need to put one foot in front of the other. Just do it one foot in front of the other. That's all I got to focus on. It's kind of like when you're running. When I used to run a lot, I would just focus on the stop sign. Like, just get to the stop sign. Don't worry about finishing 5 miles. Just run to that stop sign and then go from there. So any kind of goal that you have, it's literally like summiting a mountain, just one foot in front of the other. And you have to stay away from the whiners. You have to stay away from the whiners. So the kids were complaining. They were like super short with me, and they were pissed that they had to go on this hike, to be honest. And they were just very, very short with me, which, by the way, yes, we get really short and angry with the people that won't listen to our excuses. Isn't that something? But I literally had to remove myself from them. I had to either slow down and hike away from them, or speed up and hike ahead of them, because my lungs were burning. My muscles were hurting. Like, I was climbing the same mountain as them, and their whining and their complaining made it so much harder. It made it so much harder. So I literally had to remove myself from their presence. I had to remove myself from their whining and their complaining, because it was so hard for me to do this as it was without complaining, right? But you add that onto it, and it's just, it feels like it's almost impossible. So you can either let your excuses win or your determination, but you can't have both. Like, you literally, well, the boys, again, remember, they didn't have a choice. So they didn't necessarily have determination. They just didn't have a choice. So they did have excuses and complained all the way to the top. But I will help you summit a mountain, but unfortunately, I can't walk side by side with you when you're constantly giving yourself excuses and complaining, right? I'm summiting that same mountain, and it's so much more powerful to climb it together with encouragement and a great attitude and like a no excuses policy. And I have no doubt that my kids learned some valuable lessons on the mountain that day about making excuses and all that stuff. I know that they learned about that. But guess who was posting pictures on Instagram that night? The boys. They were posting all their pictures of them at the top of the mountain. They were so proud of their accomplishment. And you know what? I will always push my family to do things that they wouldn't do if I wasn't there. And I will always inspire my team and push my team to do things that they wouldn't normally do. But you know what? I can't and never will push anybody to do something that I wouldn't do myself. So those are just some thoughts that I had. Summiting the top of Trapper Peak is just, you know what? Start small, put one foot in front of the other. But my goodness, you can't complain and give yourself excuses and get distracted with all the crap that's going to weigh you down. You literally have to remove yourself away from the people that are negative, and you just put one foot in front of the other. In fact, take it a step further and surround yourself around people that will lift you up, that will encourage you, that will be that voice in your life that says you can do it. You guys, I literally when I was in the parking lot at the trailhead to climb this mountain, I kept telling the kids, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Like, my heart was I'm so nervous. They're like, what are you so nervous about? Like, this is we're just hiking. Like, what's the big deal? Well, they obviously realized the big deal after the first, mile of massive elevation gain. But it was so difficult for me, but I kept telling myself, you know what, one foot in front of the other, and you can do this. Why can't you do it? You know, I even got sick at the top, a little bit, altitude sickness. Again, it was just our bodies, and our bodies can do so much more than we give them credit for. You can do so much more than you give yourself credit for, but you've got to quit giving yourself excuses, and you got to get away from the whiners and just start small. Just start with one foot in front of the other. So anyway, just wanted to share. Those are thoughts from Jen's journal that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. So, okay, we'll see you guys later. Good night.